This week, Magnus Carlsen taken down in 23 moves in a Caro-Kann by Richard Rapport, who even showed up late. Usually that's Magnus style. Really unorthodox by Richie here. So Magnus plays e4. Richie goes for the Caro-Kann. And we go into the exchange variation of the Caro-Kann with bishop to d3. We bring our knight in, and they play h3. And I remember when I first learned the Caro-Kann, if anyone ever did this to me, I would cry because I had no idea what to do. Because as a Caro-Kann player, you know you want to put your bishop here or here. Now you can't do either. And you don't want to bury this guy because you're not playing the French defense. You're playing the Caro-Kann for a reason. You want this guy outside the pawn chain. It's very difficult. So, very instructive how Richard Rapport deals with this. He goes aggressive. There's no other way, I reckon, after watching this game. He brings his knight in. Magnus plays c3. Usually these guys kind of team up upon the light squares and you try and chase away this knight at some point. We hit the center. This is important because otherwise our bishop's going to be buried forever. We take with a knight. It looks like we're a bit of a noob because we've pinned our knight to the queen. But have a look at these crazy maneuvers by Richie. Chuck another knight in. They give the check. We block with our bishop. They bring their knight in. Hit our other knight. Things are just getting crazy already. Who'd have thought in a Caro-Kann after 10 moves we got this position? Usually we're solid as. We bring our knight back. Again, we move the same piece twice in the opening, breaking basic beginner rules because usually you don't want to move the same piece twice. You want to get your other moves out. But Richie's a GM, a very high level GM, one of the strongest in the world, so he can do what he wants. Magnus gets his bishop out. We get our bishop out. They get the knight in. We castle. They take our bishop. We take with our queen. And Magnus goes crazy here. He decides, well, it's very hard because Magnus Carlsen's the best player in the world, so it's very hard to get inside his head. But it looks like he didn't want to castle. Well, looks like he didn't want to castle this way. Just because we got two knights over here, we got a queen here and a bishop. And Richie's insane. He'll sacrifice all his pieces and figure out a way to checkmate. So maybe he didn't like that. I like Castle's queen side here. And I think Hikaru actually did a video on this some point, and he recommended castling queen side here. But Magnus opts for rook here, which disallows castling queen side as well. Maybe he's played too many bong clouds online lately while he's having a few drinks and he's forgotten that castling's actually a legal move. A lot of these guys are very scared of falling below 2,700 and not getting invited to these elite events. So a lot of the times they don't go after Magnus Carlsen. They go for draws. They just don't think they can beat him. But I think you underestimated Richie Rapport's aggressiveness here. And to be fair, Richie found some crazy moves. He plays rook over. Knight takes. We take with a rook. The knight jumps in. They hit a rook. What should we do with the rook? Should we save it somewhere? What should we do with it? Nah, we don't save our rook. We decide to hit a piece of higher value. So if you don't want to save something, you're like, I like this rook. He's in a good spot. You just got to attack something worth more. You got to attack the queen. It's worth more. Obviously, they can't take because they lose their queen. Queen moves out of the way. We bide some time. Do we save the rook now? Nah, mate. We come in. We disallow Magnus from castling. And I think this combo of knight here, queen here must have been what Magnus missed because I do not think he would have gone into this willingly. Richie doesn't let off. He's like, I got you in the middle. We ain't going for a draw, Magnus. I'm going for the win. Magnus finds the best move. He hits our knight because this knight is causing all sorts of checkmate threats here, right? So he gets him away. We hit their knight. You're probably wondering, why don't they just take our rook? The reason is we can't. Because let's say D takes now. Oh, not that. Let's say D takes now. They can never take this pawn because mate and won. And if they go this way, we're just going to keep hitting them. And they're going to give up a queen, you know? Happy days. We got a queen. We're happy. So we're back here. That's why they don't really want to take because they're going to get in all sorts of issues. So they take our knight, get rid of these checkmate and one threats. We take their knight. They take our pawn. And we kind of want our rook here, you know, doubling up. We got pressure on here. We're pinning this guy. But why not hit the queen first? Can make the queen move. We get our free move. He moves out of the way. Now we come back. Even Magnus can't withstand this kind of pressure. Offering a queen trade. Should we trade queens? Of course not, mate. We're coming in. We're applying pressure. We ain't going for no draws. We ain't going to endgame with Magnus. Magnus plays rook d2 and resigns. I'll leave this one with you for a bit. It is made in 9. I don't think Magnus saw it's made in 9. He was just pretty much out of time. And he realized that, black's going to come in here. They're going to take here. They're going to come in with check. And whether you like it or not, you're either getting mated or you're throwing away a bunch of your pieces. Good on you, Richie.